They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know who holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives.
I have two books here. This one is the KJV, and this is the Quran, as you can tell. The KJV, we open it from right to left, okay? And we read from left to right. The Quran opens from left to right. Okay? So let's get over here and let's just look. And I'm sorry, but I gotta fix it so we can see it. And of course I'm marking it. I don't care. I'm marking the KJV too. We read from, we got 256, and over here we have 259. So we read from here, from right, and go left. Okay? So, I'm going to read some stuff out of the Quran. If you do not want to hear it, that is fine. I just want you to know that I am going to read some stuff about Joseph out of the Quran. Now, you can take it with a grain of salt, or you can take the salt and throw it away because it has no savor to it. I just want you all to know what the Quran says about Joseph. And I will give you my input as we go. But if you ask me and want my opinion from what I've already read in the Quran, it has no common sense whatsoever. No common sense. Alright, let's see if I can find my markers here. And okay, that's not it. Gotta find my marker, okay? I know there's one. Okay, alright, here's the first one. And that's not what I want. Alright, here's what I want. And I want to look at 6 and 84. Okay, now let me show you 6 so you'll know what I am looking at. Up here is 6, okay? And then I look down for 84, and I'm going to read 84 to you. Okay. And we bestowed upon him Isaac and Jacob. Each of them we guided, and before him we guided Noah. And among his progeny David, Solomon, Job, Joseph, Moses, Aaron. Thus do we reward the good doers. See the footnotes of 9 and 120. So let's go see if we can find the footnotes of 9. 9 and 120. Okay. Alrighty. 9 and 120. So that would be I'm looking. One more page. 120. Alright. Should have looked this up before so I could find it. See, this here would be 6. Let's see. On 188, do we have page numbers here? 188, no, I don't see anything. I'm a reading. Okay. Down here at the very bottom, which is C, the prophet said, I saw in a dream 2 men come to me. Then the prophet narrated the story, saying, and they said, their person, the one who checked you saw, being torn away from the mouth to the ear, was a liar. I don't think that is it. None of these fit anything on Joseph. And I am under 120. Okay? See, footnotes are 9 and 120. Here's 9. Alright, it has to be over here. Doers of good, those who perform good deeds totally for Allah, strike only without any show off or any gain, praise or fame, and they do them in accordance with legal ways of Allah the Messenger Muhammad. Okay, so there is that part. Now, I don't know how far I'm going to get with this, because I may not read the whole thing, because I'm not too happy with the Quran. I'm going to tell you. I just want you to know that it is in the Quran, so I'm going to read you part of it, and I'll probably make some faces and all along the way. Okay, so I am at page 306. Strat, or however they pronounce that, 12 and 1. These letters are one of the miracle of the Quran. Now, the Quran does not do miracles. It is a book. And none but Allah alone knows their meanings. So, nobody can understand the Quran except for Allah. Nobody can. I mean, that's plain and simple. Okay? These are the verses of the clear book, the Quran, that makes clear the legal and the illegal things, legal laws, a guidance, and a blessing. Yeah, right. That ain't no blessing when they come and chop your head off. Barely. We have sent it down as an Arabic Quran in order that you may understand. We relate unto you, Muhammad, the best of stories. Oh, these are stories. Through our revelations unto you of the Quran, and before the coming of divine revelation to you. You were among those who knew nothing about it, the Quran. Remember when Joseph said to his father, "O Father, verily I saw in a dream 11 stars and suns and the moon. I saw them prostrating themselves to me." He, the father, said, "O my son, relate not your vision to your brothers, lest they should avenge a plot against you. Verily, Satan is to men to open enemy. Okay? Well, at least it's true on that. Satan will bother anybody. The thing of it is, are you going to stop him? Thus will your Lord choose you and teach you the interpretation of the dream and other things, and profit his favor on you and on the offspring of Jacob. He is professed it on your father Abraham and to Isaac aforetime. Verily, your Lord is all-knowing, all-wise. Verily, in Joseph and his brethren were the proof, evidence, verse, lesson, sign, revelation, etc., for those who ask. When they said, truly Joseph and his brother Benjamin are dear to our father than we were a strong group, really our father is in a plain error. Kill Joseph or cast him out to some other land, so that the favor of our father may be given to you alone, and after that will be righteous folks, by intending repentance before committing the sin. In other words, you can commit the sin and then ask for forgiveness. All right, you don't commit the sin and then ask for forgiveness. And committing the sin in ignorance is one thing. Asking for forgiveness, yes, he will forgive you. But if you know it's a sin, I kind of have my doubts about if he will forgive you. I mean, I believe the KJV says that if you know it's a sin, it's going to be a sin to you. All right, I'm on number 10. One from among them said, kill not Joseph, but if you must do something, throw him down in the bottom of a well. He will be picked up by some caravan or travelers. Okay, so we see that. So what I am picturing here is this is a write-off from the KJV, and they're trying to make it sound like the Bible. But let's go on. 11. They say, O our Father, why do you not trust us with Joseph, though we are indeed his well-wishers? Send him with us tomorrow to enjoy himself and play, and verily we will take care of him. Now, if I remember right, in the KJV, his father sent him, Joseph, to his brothers. Okay? He said, truly, it saddens me that you should take him away. I fear lest a wolf should devour him while you are careless of him. They said, if a wolf devours him, while we are a strong group to guard him, then surely we are the losers. So when they took him away, they all agreed to throw him down into the bottom of the well. And we revealed to him, indeed, you shall one day inform them of their affair, when they know you not. And they came to their father in the early part of the night weeping. They said, O our father, we went racing with one another and left Joseph by our belongings, and a wolf devoured him. But you will never believe us, even when we speak the truth. And they brought their shirt stained with false blood. He said, nay, but your own selves have made up a tale for me. Patience is a mo fitting, and it is Allah alone whose help can be sought against that lie which you describe. All right, now if you look over here, it says a shirt. So I'm not for sure, but I think a coat is a coat, but it may be a shirt in the KJV. I just haven't looked that up. Ain't thought nothing about it. All right, but we're going to go on that. 19. And there came a caravan of travelers, and they sent their water drawer, and he let down his bucket in the well. He said, "What a good news! There is a boy." So they hid him as merchandise, a slave, and Allah was the all-knower of what they did. And they sold him for a low price, for a few dirhams, a few silver coins. Now, okay, let's look at this. This right here just contradicts itself. All right, they found him, and then they hid him, and then they sold him. What happened in between, and how did they find out that these people had Joseph? Okay? All right, 21. And he, the man from Egypt who sought him, said to his wife, "Make him stay comfortable. Maybe he will profit us, or we shall adopt him as a son." Thus did we establish Joseph in the land, that we might teach him the interpretation of events. And Allah has full power and control over his affair, but most of the men knew it not. And when he, Joseph, attained his full manhood, we gave him wisdom and knowledge, the prophethood. Thus we reward the doers of good. See the footnotes? No, I'm not. And she, in whose house he was, sought to seduce him to do evil acts. And she closed the doors and said, "Come on, O you." He said, "I seek refuge in Allah," or Allah forbid. "Truly, he, your husband, is my master. He made my living in a great comfort, so I never will betray him. Verily, the wrong and evildoers will never be successful." And indeed, she did desire him, and he would have inclined to her desire, had he not seen the evidence of his Lord. Thus it was that we might turn away from him evil and illegal sexual intercourse. Surely he was one of our chosen, guided slaves. Okay. So they raced with one another to the door, and she tore his shirt from the back. They both found her lord, her husband, at the door. That's not what the KJV says. She said, "What is this recompense punishment for him who intended an evil design against your wife, except that he put in prison or a painful torment?" He, Joseph, said, It was she that sought to seduce me. And a witness of her household bore witness, saying, "If it be that this shirt is torn from the front, then her tale is true, and he is a liar. But if it be that his shirt be torn from the back, then she has told a lie, and he is speaking the truth." So when he, her husband, saw his Joseph's shirt torn at the back, He, her husband, said, surely is a plot of you women, certainly mighty in your plot. O Joseph, turn away from this old woman. Ask forgiveness for your sin. Verily, you were of the sinful. So, to me, if it's tore from the front, she grabbed him from the back and she was running. So they turned it around. Oh, goodness. They completely turned it around. Okay. 30. And women in the city said, the wife of is seeking to seduce her slave, young man. Indeed, she loved him violently. Verily, we see her in plain error. So the town seen that she was, duh. So when she heard of their accusation, she sent for them and prepared a banquet for them. She gave each one of them a knife to cut the foodstuff with. And she said to Joseph, come out before them. Then when they saw him, they exalted him at his beauty, and in their astonishment cut their hand. They said, how perfect is Allah, or Allah forbid. No man is this. This is none other than a noble angel. She said, this is he, the young man, about whom you did blame me, and I did seek to seduce him, but he refused. And now if he refuse to obey my order, he shall certainly be cast into prison, and will be one of those who are disgraced. I think we're into a story. He said, oh my Lord, prison is dearer to me than that to which they invite me, unless you torn away their plot from me. I will feel inclined towards them to be one of those who commit sin and deserve blame, or those who do deeds of the ignorant. So his Lord answered his invocation and turned away from him their plot. Verily, he is the all-hearer, the all-knower. Then it occurred to them, after they had seen the proof of the innocence, to imprison him for a time. And there entered with him 2 young men in the prison. One of them said, verily, I saw myself in a dream pressing wine. The other said, verily, I saw myself in a dream carrying bread on my head, and birds were eating thereof. And they said, inform us of the interpretation of this. Verily, we think you are the one of the doers of good. Okay, 37. He said, no food will come to you in wakefulness or in dreams as your provision, but I will inform in wakefulness its interpretation before the food comes. This is of that which my Lord has taught thee. Verily, I have abandoned the religion of a people that believe not in Allah, and are believers in the hereafter, the something other of Egypt, who were polytheists and used to worship sun and other false deities. And I have followed the religion of my father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And never could we attribute any partners whatsoever to Allah. This is from the grace of Allah to us, to mankind. But most men think not. They never believe in Allah nor worship Him. All right, now where did it come from? What was the interpretation of the dream? Okay? Okay. So far, we haven't got nothing. O two companies of the prison are many different lords, gods. Better or Allah, the one, the enter something another, whatever it is, he ain't. You do not worship beside him, but only names which you have named. Forgetty, I don't know what that is. You and your fathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. The command or the judgment is for none but Allah. He has commanded that you worship none but Him. Okay, so that is true, straight religion, but most men know not. Look, I'm going to tell you now. The Creator, Father God, or Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yahweh, however you want to look at Him, does not believe in religion. You have a lifestyle, okay? Because you have turned your life around and you are following Him, okay? So that's why I'm not a Christian. I'm not a little Christ, okay? I'm not. I'm me. He made me in His image, but I am not a Christ. I cannot save myself. All right, 41. Two companies of the prison, as for one of you as a servant will pour out wine for his lord, king or master, to drink, and as for the other, he will be crucified, and birds will eat from his head. Thus is the case judged concerning which you both did inquire. Boy, we got this right here all mixed up too. He will be crucified. Now, the KJV doesn't say that he was crucified. He was hung on a tree. So that means that a rope was put around his neck and he was hung. 42. And he said to the one whom he knew to be saved, mention me to your Lord, your King, so as to get me out of this prison. But Satan made him forget to mention it to his Lord, or Satan made Joseph to forget the remembrance of his Lord, as to ask for his help instead of others. So Joseph stayed in prison a few more years. And the king of Egypt said, verily I saw in a dream 7 fat cows, whom 7 lean and devouring, and 7 green ears of corn, and 7 other dry. O nobles, explain to me my dream, if it be that you can interpret dreams. And they said, mix up false dreams. We are not skilled in the interpretation of dreams. Then the men who was released, one of the 2, were in prison. Now at length remembered and said, I will tell you its interpretation. O send me forth. He said, O Joseph, the man of truth, explain to us the dream of the 7 fat cows, and whose 7 lean ones were devouring, of the 7 green ears of corn, and 7 other dry, that I may return to the people, and that they may know. Okay, so instead of the footman saying, hey, Joseph is in prison down here, he interpreted my dream, he could probably interpret your dream. No, he didn't. He went down there and wants him to tell him. Joseph said, For 7 consecutive years you shall sow as usual, and that the harvest which you reap you shall leave it in the ears, all except for a little of it which you may eat. Then will come after that 7 hard years, which will devour what you have laid up by advance for them, all except a little of what which you have guarded stored. Then afterwards will come a year in which people will have abundant rain, and in which they will press wine and oil. And the king said, Bring him to me. But when the messenger came to him, Joseph said, Return to your lord and ask him, What happened to the woman who cut their hands? Surely my lord Allah is well aware of their plot. The king said to the woman, What was your affair when you did seek to seduce Joseph? And the woman said, Allah forbid, no evil know we against him. The wife of Al-whatever said, Now the truth is manifest to all. It was I who sought to seduce him, and he is surely of the truthful. Then Joseph said, I asked for this in order that he may know that I betrayed him not in his abundance. And verily, Allah guide not the plot of the betrayers. Now this right here story goes on, but I think I can quit right here, and y'all can see how messed up that this is. And I just wanted you guys to we want this one on top. No! Yeah! Okay. So, I just wanted you to know. So, there's a little bit of what goes on in the Quran. This is how to donate to my PayPal. You come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, and you mash on Poor Man's Sewing. Then you go over here to About. You mash on About. And right here is to donate to Poor Man's Sewing. Thank you. I appreciate everything that is donated. It will go to the sewing shed that we are working on. Or anything that you want me to put it on there, just leave a note on there and I will see what it says. And I really do appreciate you donating and watching my channel. A lot of hugs and kisses to you.